I'm going to have Maddie from CCRI go ahead and introduce herself and start our presentation.
Thanks, Janet. Can everyone hear me okay? Hopefully.
Yes,
Janet
we
just
can.
gave a-
Yep, we can hear
Okay,
you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So my name is Maddie Burke, and I'm the Director of Strategic Initiatives at CCRI, based at the Providence campus. I'm also the Providence campus leader. And I work in the Student Affairs Division of the college. My responsibilities include leading the Providence campus, overseeing the early college programs and our community partnerships in Providence, and also working on some strategic impact initiatives for the college. Tonight, I am going to be joined by Beatrice McGeoch, who is the Director of Adult Education. And she's the true expert here. So she's actually shadowing a class right now. So I'm filling in for her for a little bit. And she's going to join us shortly so that she can answer all of your questions that you might have about the programming. But in the meantime, I'm just going to quickly overview the offerings that we have. So just some quick facts about CCRI sort of adult ed offerings overall. These are initiatives that are on the workforce side of our college. So they're not part of the academic division. They don't offer academic credit. They are designed for folks who are active in the workforce and who are looking to continue to build their skills in order to maintain employment and seek better employment. These programs do come at a cost. The cost varies depending on the program. I'll talk a little bit about that, but Beatrice can certainly answer questions that folks have about that. And then there are some scholarships available depending on the program. These are, again, programs that are designed to help with folks' job skills and to help boost your resume if you're looking for better employment. And most of these are short-term and flexible in terms of the timing. So most of them are offered both during the day and at night as well. And then you can find more information at the link provided, and I'll make sure that I put that link in the chat as well so that folks have link to the Adult Ed website. So there are three main offerings on the adult education side we're going to talk about tonight: the Bridge program, English language studies, and GED testing. So our Bridge program offers intensive classes in literacy and math that are designed to help folks prepare for the GED exam so that they can earn their GED and prepare for the next step in their career or college. These are offered in person on the Providence campus. There are 4 cohorts every year. So they begin in August, October, January, and March. So we just started a class in March, and our next class will start at towards the end of the summer in August. They are 8 weeks long, and there are 2 different offerings in terms of level. One is a beginner level, which is designed for folks who may have been out of school for an extended period of time, perhaps never attended high school, here in the US, and are sort of unfamiliar with the curriculum of the GED. The second, more advanced offering is for folks who have more recent educational experience, may have more recently been in high school or been in high school here in the US, and feel pretty prepared to take their GED, but just need a little bit more coaching. So those are the beginner and the advanced courses. These classes are free and open to students as long as you don't already have a high school diploma. And so if you want more information about that, there's a number you can call. I'll again put the website and the number in the chat at the end of the presentation. The second is our English language studies program. The goal of this program is to support speakers of other languages in achieving English proficiency so that they can better function in the workplace that they can, continue their job training or developing their skills, again, to pursue a career. These classes begin 3 times a year, September, January, and May. So we are getting ready to start a cohort in just a couple of weeks. There's about 50 hours of instruction over 13 weeks for each of the levels. And there are 3 different levels. So beginners can enroll at level 1. There is a short assessment as part of the registration process that folks can take in order to determine which class level would be best to suit your needs. The assessment, there is a $25 fee for the assessment, and the classes are approximately $230, and the books and materials fee varies based on the class. So it could be anywhere from $40 to $115, depending on the level and the type of class that you're taking. And then the third service is our GED testing. GED is a 4-part nationally recognized high school equivalency test that meets the Rhode Island state standards. There are 2 high school equivalency options that meet the Rhode Island standard, both the GED and the NEDP, which is the National External Diploma Program. At CCRI, we only offer GED testing. So the courses will prepare you to take either exam, but the exams that we offer on site are the GED exams at the Providence campus. State aid is available for folks who are looking to take the test. So it is mostly free for folks depending on your income. The steps for taking the GED are below. So you create an account on the website. There's a practice test you can take. And then once you achieve a certain score, you can take the test. And again, in order to get that voucher to take the test for free, you have to pass the practice test first. If you need financial assistance, there is, again, a number you can call, which I'll put in the chat in just a second. And the GED testing is year-round, so you can schedule the testing pretty much anytime, Monday through Friday. There are a couple of evening options offered, but it is not offered on the weekends. So here's some contact information. Cheyenne Kudo is our lead coordinator for the adult education programs. She handles all of the intake process. So for both English language learning and the GED and Bridge program, Cheyenne is the main contact. So that is the end of the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing, and then Beatrice should be joining us shortly, but in the meantime, I can start to answer questions that folks might have.
We do have one question so far. And so it's in Spanish. I'll read it out loud in Spanish and then English. Yo estudié en Guatemala hasta el grado 6. ¿Qué puedo hacer para llegar hasta el GED? So I studied in Guatemala up until the 6th grade. What can I do to apply for the GED?
So yeah, you would most likely need to start in the GED beginner level courses, but it will depend on your English proficiency. So again, that assessment that you take in the beginning will help you determine which GED course you would be eligible for. It'll also help determine if you need to take some English language learning, some of the ELL courses first before you start to take the GED courses. And they can be taken simultaneously. It really is up to the individual student and their sort of confidence level, depending on their proficiency.
Okay, very good. The next question is, which days are we doing English classes?
That is a very good question, and I'm going to save that one for Beatrice because I don't have the answer, but I bet she will.
Yep, and I'll keep the questions up, those that are, still pending. Yeah, so someone said that they would like to have classes on Saturdays, but I think you mentioned there are none on Saturdays.
There are, I believe, classes on Saturdays. There is no testing. So the actual
Okay.
GED testing doesn't take place on Saturdays, but Beatrice can clear that up. I'm pretty sure they do offer both the English language classes and the bridge classes on Saturday, but she can confirm that.
Okay, and just trust that I am checking the list, okay, Maddie?
Yep.
Participants, okay? The next question is, okay, so when do the classes for English start in May? Do you have a date?
Let me actually try to see if I can find that on the website, and I will also put the website in the chat in the meantime. And then Beatrice, she said 6:25, so she should be joining in just a few minutes.
Okay, are classes mostly offered at night? Someone is asking that they would like to have take classes at night.
There's a pretty good mix. So they do try to really accommodate folks. And so I know there is a mix of both day and evening classes. So what I'm not sure is if they do it by cohort. So Beatrice can definitely tell like which dates you would need to do it for which, depending on what you want, evening or day.
Okay. Okay, so this person said she would like to study English, during the week. But I don't see anything available, only Saturdays. So I'm not sure what she might be looking at.
Yeah, that might be depending on the level. I'm trying to look it up right now. I'm going to put the website in the chat.
So someone asked the question if this person graduated from high school back in her country, is she able to get her GED here? Or will she be required to? Maddie, can you hear me, Maddie?
Which has
Oh, you froze a little. Now I can't hear you. We can't hear you, Maddie.
I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure when I got cut off. What I was saying is you won't need to necessarily take the GED exam. We do certify a lot of high school equivalency certificates and diplomas from other countries. So that's a process called prior learning. And we have a coordinator of prior learning credit. Her name is Nicole Sheldon. So I'll put her name in the chat too. And you would just need to email her or call her to set up a time, and you'll submit your diploma to her, and then she'll walk you through the process of like having it translated if that's necessary. And then it'll be evaluated and you can possibly receive like an equivalency here in the US.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Are there other programs offered for adults?
So all of our programs are offered to adults, and about 40% of our student body is over the age of 22. So, we mostly offer classes for adults. So all of our both credit programs, like folks who are working towards an associate's degree, and we have over 90 degrees and certificates, in anything from nursing to, chemical technology, to computer science. So there's a ton of different programs. And then last week, for those of you who weren't here, I had the opportunity to present about our workforce programs, which are short-term job training certificates. And those are really specific, like for someone who wants to be a medical assistant or someone who wants to be, work in manufacturing at a place like Electric Boat. So I can also, again, put that information back in the chat in case anyone's interested in those programs as well.
Yes, and Maddie, and especially if you can enter also the phone number, so the person that might need the information in Spanish or speak to someone in Spanish, just to identify that. I know you might have responded to this question, but just if, because I see it another 2 times, the person wants to complete their GED, but they completed some years in the secondary in their country, but they would like to finish their GED here. How would they go about that?
Yeah, so that if you don't have the actual high school diploma or certificate, if you just started high school or did some education in your home country, then you would need to take the GED exam. So there are 2 things you could do. You could enroll in the Bridge program, which again, those courses are free for most folks depending on income. So Cheyenne can kind of help walk you through the intake process and figure out whether you need to go into the beginner or the advanced course. But you would take those courses to help you prepare for the exam, and then the exam will help you get your high school equivalency here in the US.
Very good. How would you know if you're eligible for financial aid?
I'm not sure what the income threshold is, so I'm going to have to refer that one to Beatrice, and she should be joining us just any second now. I just texted her.
Okay. Do you know whether or not you have to be a citizen or a resident to actually register for one of the English classes?
No, there isn't a citizenship requirement.
Okay. I have a career in my country, but here I do not. So I guess, certified in another country. I would like to learn both English. Yeah, I would like to learn both English and any other course that would be offered based on, her career.
Yeah, that is very popular. So we have a lot of folks who are experienced professionals who have, had a job or a career in another country. And so those ELL programs are designed specifically for that. So there's lots of training, not just in English language, but also, job readiness and just sort of navigating the workplace here in the US as well. And I see that Beatrice just joined us.
Good evening. Thank you for being patient. I was just visiting with the GED class. I had a scheduled visit with them. I couldn't cancel.
Okay, very good. Welcome, Beatrice. I'm Janet Pichardo from the school department. How are you today?
I'm well. It's nice to see you again. I think we've met before.
We have. And I'm sure Maddie's very happy to see you right now. We have a lot of questions.
I've been hunting a lot of questions. I'm like, I promise you, Beatrice will have the answers for you.
Right, yeah.
But I did go through all 3 of the programs and shared information with folks. And I put both the website and the phone number in the chat. But there were a number of questions that I didn't quite have the answer to. So I'm sure Janet wouldn't mind rereading them for you.
Yes. And Beatrice, can you see the Q&A on your end?
I have, but I don't get the history because I'm a recent arrival in the meeting.
Okay, no, it's okay. I'm going to read them off to you. Okay,
Yeah.
I think you'll find them perhaps, common questions. So I'm just going to start from like the middle of the questions that are still left. Is it, okay, what does it say? Is it usually going to be, okay, the courses? Are they usually face-to-face or are there any courses online?
So that depends on the program. For our bridge program, which is focused for GED, high school equivalency, all our classes at this time are in person. The English language program has both options, online and in person. I will say though that for level 1, I highly recommend when you're very beginning that you do in person.
Okay. So this person says she has already taken the test, but no one has called her yet.
Which test? I would have to ask. Which program?
Okay, so I'll ask the question and I'll let her let me know. Okay. So there was one question regarding Saturdays and weekday evenings.
Mm-hmm.
So are there classes that are offered on Saturdays?
The English language program offers classes on Saturdays. In this moment, we don't offer bridge or GED on Saturdays. We do offer GED testing, but not the class.
Okay.
I see one question in the chat about the grade level. It says, if your last grade level was 8th, what level do I start? I'm going to guess that's probably for bridge or GED classes. And my answer there is that we only have 2 levels for bridge. And really, we don't think about it like it's a level or a grade. We work with the student to find out what they know, and then we help them fill in the gaps. So that's one of the great things about adult education. You don't have to think about it as like 8, 9, 10, you know, a big list of things you have to do. We have a workshop style class, and we work with many levels at the same time.
Okay. So someone asked a question, I would like to know how to become a medical assistant.
So medical assistant is not one of the programs that I run, but I can see if I can find information in the background while we're talking.
Yeah, and I know that Maddie had shared some last week.
Yeah.
The session, yeah. But we have more folks that might have not been able to attend last week.
Yeah.
Even if it's some general contact information, that's fine.
I will. Here, let me see what we've got. With many of the trainings that are workforce trainings, we have some different options. So for medical assistant, the next class scheduled, as I look here, is starting May 1st. That may already be full, but who knows? And the way you would find out is, and I'm going to put a link in the chat for this, is you would, hold on, I've got a, it looks here like I can send it to hosts and panelists. Are the audience able to receive a link?
You would have to put it in the chat.
Okay, it doesn't seem that it may be, well.
Are you able to post it there? You are, right?
I am, but it's telling me that I'm only able to post to hosts and panelists, so.
Yeah, no,
it might not.
You can go ahead and post, and I'll change the.
Yeah, so I put one link in the chat for medical assistant. About workforce training in general, we sometimes have funding that will pay for classes for free. We also cannot always predict the funding. So if you're interested in a specific program, I recommend 2 things. First, you fill out the inquiry form, make sure you're on the list. And then second is you check the website, you know, depending on the urgency that you are seeking the class, maybe every 2 weeks or so, just to keep an eye on what is being offered.
Okay, and Maddie did insert in the chat a phone number that if someone needs to speak to someone that speaks Spanish, the
Mhm.
number that's there. So is that number for any and all of these same questions?
Yes. General information is it the 4556019?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So para todos los padres, yo sé que el intérprete también está mencionando esto también. El teléfono que está en el chat, ustedes lo pueden ver. Por favor, si me pueden confirmar en el QIA, si pueden ver la información en el chat. Y el teléfono 455-6019 es el teléfono que pueden llamar para cualquier pregunta en general que necesiten respuesta en español. A ese teléfono que pueden ir. 455-6019. Okay, now there are more questions. Do you have computer programs?
We have some for, I believe, Microsoft Office. Hold on, I'm doing my background research. We have it's like sort of self-paced and online classes using a system called Ed2Go.
Mhm.
And just looking for the link to that. So, I mean, my team does not do specific computer classes. If we have something that uses computers and requires computers, we do usually some training at the beginning of the class to help people learn.
Mhm.
If we're talking about somebody who is like no computers and they're like, I need to learn how to use a mouse. Our programs right now, we don't have a regular class for that. There are, I believe there are classes at the libraries.
Okay.
Um,
If your last grade was 8th grade, what level will you start?
I think I answered that one. That's the one where it could be any,
Okay.
we're not thinking about it in terms of grade level.
Very good. I see.
That same person also asked a follow-up question about when programs are next running. So the next Bridge GED programs are starting in August, but you can always contact Siobhan Couteau, whose contact information was at the end of the slides. And I can put that number out as well. Hold on. There's an online wait list, but there's also a phone number.
Okay. Is the Bridge program in English or in Spanish? Someone's asking.
It is in English.
Okay. So where could I see the hours of these classes and where to sign up for the English classes?
For English,
Mhm.
the schedule is here. I can put the link in the chat for that. Hold on a second. And the English program, we have all the information in English and Spanish. So at the very top of the page, they'll have the link. They can go and see the same information in Spanish.
Okay, so you put a link right now in which
I did. I think you gave me permission to share to everyone now.
very good.
I hope.
So what I'm going to just ask, if those of you who are on the Zoom, if a few of you can just confirm that you're able to see the information that's on the chat, we just want to make sure that you're able to see what we see. So if you can just confirm for us. I'm still getting various questions about when English classes are starting. So if there's a link, then I'm just going to make sure again, please look at the link that's in the chat and you're able to click into it.
Yeah.
And see the hours.
So yeah, I see. So I see a lot of questions about the English classes. So I'll just speak about them specifically for a moment. The next classes are starting in May, al fin de mayo, okay? And the class cost is $235. Let's see if I can do that in Spanish. 235.
Very good.
Y también tenemos una book, la libro. Libro. Okay, so the book also costs between $40 and $60. Dentro 40 y 60.
And how long are they? Like how long of is it a month? Is it
so the class is about 13 weeks. It's a 50-hour course. The students who study at night study 2 nights each week, 2 hours. And on the Saturdays, we have one long class, one 4-hour class every Saturday.
Okay.
So that's for English class, again, 12 or about 12, 13 weeks. I also see a question, somebody's asking if they have to take a pretest for the bridge. And the answer is yes, you do. But that pretest will not, in most cases, that pretest will not exclude you from the class. The pretest is not a way of us to say no. It's just so that we put you in the right class.
Okay.
And we're enrolling now for English class. Yeah.
So how would you know if you qualify for financial aid?
So 2 things. One, bridge program, those classes are free. Bridge. So that is for people who want to go into college. They already have a good level of English, doesn't have to be perfect, or they're studying for high school equivalency. Any of those people can come to Bridge, which is free. English classes have a cost, and there is no financial aid because these are not the credit courses. Do you think I can explain a little more about that if you think people would want to hear?
Yeah, I think if you repeat bridge and then like the difference between the two. Yes.
Yeah. So bridge program is for learning the skills you need to take college classes and learning the skills you need to pass high school equivalency. So academic skills, those courses are free.
Mm-hmm.
The English program is not free and there is no financial aid. That program is paid for entirely by the students. The college contributes some to keep the cost low, but it is really for just improving English without the larger cost for the credit classes. So you can take courses in the college that are English courses. We actually offer 2 kinds of English courses. The non-credit, that's the community program that I work with. Those have a cost. The cost is about half the cost on the credit side, but we don't have financial aid.
Okay.
So a person has to decide what kind of course they need to meet their goal. If they are higher level and their goal, their objective is to enter the college, it may be beneficial to apply and take English and credit classes and do the whole thing using financial aid. For the majority of students, like community students, where they're looking for a skill, to be able to communicate better with the teachers at their children's school or their coworkers, or write better so they can advance at work. Those skills that don't require credit and a transcript, those skills we can get in the community program. And the price, there is a price, but it's in comparison to credit is less.
Okay. Someone did ask, do you guys do equivalency for high school diplomas from other countries?
We do not issue equivalency. We can assist a person to find a translation service.
Hmm.
And people should know, this is often people make a mistake to worry that they cannot apply to the college because they maybe haven't got their transcript translated. You can apply. And most likely you will be admitted. I have never heard of anybody to be denied because our objective is for people to be able to study. There are some programs that will have more of a requirement and verify and perhaps require a translation. There are some programs that even if it's translated, there's a chance the diploma won't be recognized. But in most cases, the goal is for people to join the community and study, and so they should always ask and bring their paperwork and worry about translation and equivalency as a secondary goal.
Again, just to repeat the websites that you entered in the chat. So
Yeah.
someone asked, where can I see the actual schedule?
For the English classes,
yes.
English class, our schedule is on this website. I'll put again in the chat. Also, the registration for the English class is done online. So you will follow a link from this page that I share now, and that page will take you to another website which collects the payment and does the registration process.
Ok. Glenda y Casey, si ustedes pueden confirmar si pueden ver el chat, si pueden ver la información en el chat. We just had two individuals who said they couldn't see the information.
Oh, no. And so I have also, hold on, I'm just looking for my help. I can literally hold a QR code up to the screen if that's something that will help.
Yeah, we could do that, and I can explain to them what to do for those that might not know.
Let me grab a piece of paper that has this. Where am I?
Maddie, are you still there? So I'm going to check here. Let me see.
Okay, this is a real.
There you go. Okay, so what is this QR code? Explain to me, and then I'll.
This one is for English.
Okay.
If they want to go to the website to register for English.
Okay. So este QR code que ustedes ven aquí en la pantalla, en el video de la señora Beatriz, por favor traten de ver si pueden darle clic para acceder a esto. Es como si ustedes van a coger una foto, ¿verdad? Y hay algo que sale en la pantalla. Si le hacen clic, es como un enlace. Si le hacen clic, van a poder ver la información que ella le está compartiendo directamente del sitio web. Okay, de nuevo para las clases en inglés. And for those that might be asking questions regarding information about teacher assistant and other courses, certificate programs, there's a website that Maddie entered in the chat, and I'm just going to go ahead and let me see if it'll let me. I won't. I can't copy and paste it. But it's the CCRI.
It's the workforce partnerships.
In adult ed at the end, you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you can just repost that at the very bottom.
Let me see.
Oh, it's already there, Beatrice. I think you entered it already. It's the same one, right?
Oof, let me look.
Yeah. Well, yours ends with a /ELS.
Yeah, so there's Maddie just put it again.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those looking for the certificate programs information, you can go ahead and look at the chat, and you can see Maddie entered a website, a link. If you can click on that and just keep it open in your computer or your device, and you can go ahead and read through that information. So
And Maddie also put in the chat, I should note we have now a specialist to help with translation of credentials, Nicole Sheldon.
okay,
So that's also in the chat, and people should email that person.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nicole Sheldon would be the person that you would have to speak with. For those of you who asked the question that you might have a certificate from another country, and you want to be able to come here and kind of, improve your English, but at the same time, bring some of those skills.
I would recommend to do both. Contact Nicole, but also contact the program you're interested in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't wait.
So to start a program, do you have to speak perfect English?
No. Every program has a method to determine whether or not the people joining the program have the correct skills. So there are some programs where English is going to be more important than others, and we try to set the range so that we can include people who can benefit from the program.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that every program will take everybody, but usually there's a reading screening test or an interview that we use.
Okay.
I lost the Q&A. I'm just looking at the chat and now I'm confused. Let me see if I find it again.
Yeah, I'm just doing the Q&A. You could see at the very bottom of your screen, the Q&A.
I found it now. Yeah. You don't need to go in person to inscribe, to enroll. You can just do it online.
Are there specific days to take a test, to do the prep test?
For the English,
Yes.
there's just a schedule. I mean, it's a couple of nights a week and some Saturday mornings. There's some good options. Okay. They just go online as if to register for the class, and there's a level assessment that you register for instead of the class.
Okay.
Yeah. The classes of English are three places: in Providence, in Lincoln, and also online.
Okay.
And for Leslie, who's asking about Bridge, you've got to contact Siobhan Couteau. I think I put that information in the chat.
Are there any scholarships?
I saw that, but again, it's not, so no. I mean, that's the easy question. So obviously Bridge program, as I mentioned, is free. It includes books. GED exam. If you are having financial difficulty, you can get help to pay for the GED exam. So if you're ready to take your exam, and that's the only thing is the difficulty is coming up with $30, then you contact the office and we have a process to help pay for the GED exam. And then otherwise, we don't have scholarship.
Okay. The classes are offered only in Providence?
Providence campus, Lincoln campus, and also online for English. Right now, Bridge program for GED only in Providence. I'm working on that.
Mm-hmm. Can you share the address in Providence?
Oh yeah, it's 1 Hilton Street. I can put that. Let me find a way. The Providence campus has a funny map information because the former entrance from years ago is where the address is, even though now the entrance is around the corner. So if the map takes you to a place that does not look like the front of a building, just walk around to the right. I'll put this in the chat. If you're familiar with Public Street or South Providence, the school is right behind the Met High School.
Okay.
And near the hospitals.
Is the bridge online as well?
No,
In person?
in person, yeah. Yeah, if a person has a reason or they really want online, like they have a medical reason, they have something, they should still contact Siobhan because Siobhan will know which other program in the state can help. There are some programs doing GED online. Just for us, once we came back from pandemic, there was enough people to keep our classes in person full.
So someone asked a question, good afternoon. My daughter was studying nursing in the Dominican Republic and wanted to know if she's able to continue there while she's learning English.
It's unlikely. I think it would be the case that they would have to learn the English. Like they can't start from zero with English. They have to study English for a certain amount first. If that person is, and they should come into the office for advice because every person has a specific case. So we'd be able to help in some way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see another one here.
Well, I also see, I have a question. I passed all my tests except math, but completed around 2014. If you took your GED tests in the past and you did not take them on the computer, if you did a paper test, then they probably aren't valid anymore. In the year 2014, they changed the test. So all the scores before 2014 are no longer valid. But if you're trying to figure it out, please come into the office because we will be able to help. And I see bridge question, is it offered day and night? Yes, we have morning and night class.
I graduated from nursing in Guatemala. How can I obtain equivalency, or what should I do?
For a career, technical career, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
You should contact the diploma translation person that Maddie put in the chat, the Nicole Sheldon. And then also probably begin to take some English classes because you're going to need to do some kind of either coursework or exam in English. I see los emigrantes pueden estudiar. I don't know if that's a question, but yes. We don't verify residency for the classes. The English classes are open to the community. The bridge program is tricky because people come in and they say, how many weeks is it going to take? Well, you're usually preparing for an exam, either the AccuPlacer to go into college or the GED. And I can never predict how long each person will take. Sometimes somebody walks into my classroom and I think, oh my goodness, this is going to take 2 years and it takes 3 months. And sometimes somebody walks in and you think it's going to take 2 months and then a year later. So many factors play. So I cannot predict when you complete the program. I can tell you this though, the classes are 8 weeks long. So each time you come and study, you study for 8 weeks. We have designed a special program. There are 8 different classes. So 8 times 8, 64 total weeks of instruction with no repetition. So that means if you are a person who has tried GED in the past and you kept having to do the same workbook, that is not going to happen in our program. You can come and you could take 8 weeks, and then the next 8 weeks are going to be different. And the curriculum is designed based on real Rhode Island information and social studies and science. It's fascinating, interesting class. You could tell that's my baby. I like that program a lot.
Someone asked again, how much do the classes cost?
Again, it depends on the class. Bridge program, free. This person's writing in Spanish. So for English class, $235 plus book fee, which is $40 to $60. Programa de Puente no es en español, lo siento. If you're going to take Bridge, you start with some English and then take it in Spanish. The GED exam can be taken in Spanish. And actually, Janet, if you are doing a follow-up, I would love to know how many people would like to take GED class in Spanish, because that is something we're thinking about offering, but I haven't been able to do that yet.
Okay.
Entre tarde. Somebody came in later wanting to know the schedule and the time. Is that?
Yes, that's what that says. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think you already entered the link there, right? I'll type it in Spanish here.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, $235 for 14 weeks. Well, it's about 13 weeks. It's 50 hours. ¿Cuánto se pagaría semana? Is that like by week?
By week, yeah.
We don't accept payment by week. You have to pay at the beginning, one payment.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Still trying to like scan through them.
I know it's similar questions, but also different. So we just keep trying to find.
And the Bridge program is free at no cost.
Yes, Bridge program is free. And I really encourage people to come and visit with us in Providence office. We're friendly and we like to talk about school.
So someone had asked earlier, good afternoon, who are the classes for? So is it the age? It would be 18?
Yeah, so most, let's see. Let me do program by program. Okay, so for English language, most students are adult, 18 plus, but sometimes we have an older youth who joins class because they're doing it in addition to school. So sometimes somebody 16 years old comes with their relative and they're taking the class. It happens. If you have a younger person who wants to take the class, please just bring them to my attention so I can verify that they're in school. But but the English class are open to any age. The GED class and the GED testing and the bridge, there are rules about the age. If a person is, excuse me, between 16 and 18 years old, there are special rules for interacting, so we'd need to do on a case-by-case basis. If a person wants to test GED and they're younger, they're 16 to 18, they have to be registered with a program that works with youth. At this time, we do not work with youth. We may in the future, but right now we don't. There's a special legal agreement that we have to set up, which we don't have in place right now. Then anybody 18 and over is welcome for any of the classes. The registration for Bridge it begins online, but then in person. So you're going to contact Siobhan or put your information in the online registration. And I can put that in one more time. And then you do have to come in person to do pre-testing and a little interview just to make sure the program is the right program for you.
Again, someone asked the question, where do you take the classes?
Which program? If it's Bridge, classes are at Providence campus. If it's English, classes are either Providence or Lincoln or online. And I think I have to apologize, but I think I might be just about done. I've had a long day and we didn't quite have this scheduled in a way that
Okay.
I haven't had dinner. So maybe 2 or 3 more questions.
No, that's it.
Yeah, I think we've covered most things. I'm sorry I can't see everybody. It feels strange. But
because this is a webinar format, because of that.
Yeah, new for my first webinar format. I do appreciate that everybody's taken their time to come and listen. And we definitely will, reach out to us at CCRI. We're happy to connect and follow up. Even if you come and ask us what program you need, as much as coming with a program in mind, because we know a lot about what the options are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much, Beatrice.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maddie. We'll connect, okay? Or you guys have a good evening.
You too. Gracias a todos. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Yeah.
Buenas noches.
Mhm.
Bye.
And again, for anyone who might have a question or concern, and you just need a little bit of guidance, our office is here to help. So please make sure that you reach out to us. You can always call our office 401-456-0686.